Howdy folks, renovation update time, and as you can see we've already had someone else move in before us, little Asian house gecko. That one's just a baby. We normally get loads of them around the house here. But anyway, a bit of an update. Last time you saw that the ceiling was on. Well, they've plastered that. They've also plastered the walls after they popped in some insulation behind there. And they've pretty much all finished it off. Just ready for us to do the painting. We've actually started today, which I'll show you in a tick. Sorry if the camera goes a bit out of focus. It's not very well lit in here at the moment. Basically all they need to do is just some of the edging around the doors and the windows and lay the floor in here. The floor is actually sitting down underneath the house. It's a mixed hardwood. So they're going to try and match it up with the existing, which is apparently a bit of spotted gum and some other bits and pieces. We had to go out and buy a shop vac, because we had to wipe down the walls and get rid of all the dust. I mean, we could have used a dustpan and broom, but it would have taken forever moving the dust around. This is the bit we've already painted. This is the stairwell. So the guys have put in a temporary platform so they could put the plaster on the ceiling and all that sort of stuff. It also helps the Sparky out so he can actually reach that light fitting, because it's going to be a pendulum light. And they have to come around and put all the fittings around the windows here. Yeah, so at the moment it just goes to a bit of a dead end, but we got the undercoat on today. There's Bianca, Kira and myself. They're actually downstairs painting at the moment. So we'll be back tomorrow to put a couple of top coats, hopefully of ceiling white on here, and the colour on the walls. So yeah, I've got to hang out with you folks from YouTube membership and Subscribe Star tomorrow. G'day folks. So hopefully I'll knock that off fairly early, at least the first coat, and then I'll go home for the hangout and then back to do another coat after that. So looking forward to catching up with a few of you folks tomorrow. My job at the moment though is to come through here and sand off the rest of the walls. Vacuum off the rest of the walls and the floor, try and get as much dust out as we can, and then come through with a slightly damp rag and just remove any of the fine dust that's just sitting on top of the plaster. We noticed in the back walkway, if the phone will focus, please focus phone, we noticed in the back walkway there's some caught in the corner, so it was pretty hard to get out and the paint wasn't sticking, so that's something to do. As for the floor in here, we have decided that we're going to tile the kitchen area. Pretty much all just out to that line of lino there. All along here, the kitchen counter's going over here a little bit towards that wall. And so we're going to have a separate tiled area in there. And out here will all be polished floorboards. And we've engaged a floor polisher. G'day Rob, if you're watching this. So he's going to be looking after polishing here, polishing the lounge room, the hallway, the back stairs. So we're going to end up with polished floors throughout, with loads of rugs for Lizzie so she doesn't go slipping and sliding everywhere. Just quickly out to the deck. We have a final coat, 3 coats actually, Lexington Half I believe it's called, out here on the deck. And that is our outside weatherboard coat. Obviously we need to do the windows yet. So that's pretty much all done. We decided we should do this before we lay the decking. So it's still not on. It'll be one of the last things John and the boys do. Same as the floorboards in there I did mention before, just so they don't damage it when they're putting or doing any other work around the place. We might go for a bit of a wander into the bathroom. So the last time you folks saw the bathroom, there was plaster on the walls, all the pipes were run through. After that, they ended up doing the waterproofing, running around anywhere there was going to be tiles near the floor, and also up the back and the sides of the shower. So once that was done, the tiler came in and put down a bed of mortar on top of the waterproofing. And yesterday he came back and started to lay the floor tiles. So they're all pretty much all down bar 2. I don't know if you can pick out the 2 that haven't been glued down yet, because there's a drain under them. And there's the drain has been put in for the shower as well. There's a gutter drain along the back. So I was a little bit skeptical about these tiles, to tell you the truth, but they actually look really cool. I'm sort of Wishing that we got these ones for the kitchen, but I'm sure Bianca and her good taste will pick out something else nice for the kitchen. Around the skirting board, 3 levels high, we're having subway tiles, or the subway pattern tiles. These running staggered, like brickwork sort of. Just 3 of these high, 300mm, 1 foot high around there. And on this side here, behind the vanity, they're coming up 1.2 metres, so just around below where that plaster is, I think, maybe a little bit into the plaster. And then, I don't want to walk in here, but yeah, down on this end wall, we're going back down to 3 runs of these, 300mm or a foot off the floor to finish it off. So yeah, we're looking like we're going to end up with a bathroom within the next week or so. Oh, then we've got to come through and paint the walls and the ceiling and all that sort of thing. Happy, happy, joy, joy. So yeah, really chuffed to see some colour in the house. It looks like, you know, we're only a couple of weeks away. Fingers crossed, if nothing else goes pear-shaped. We might go for a bit of a wander downstairs. Something that happened at the start of the week was we got our path poured, or the last section of path that locks into our existing path, so pretty chuffed about that. Not only that, the guys have put up the bulk of the battens here for, not the battens, sorry, the rails for the battens under the house. And you can see what they've done with the bottom of the post. They've just put a bit of a dome there, just to help, you know, make the place look a little bit more schmicko. And it also stops water from pooling around the bottom of the stumps. So that's all sorted. Down the side of the house, they've started to put some of the battens on. So that's pretty cool. That's what it's going to look like. The battens are pretty much all going all the way around. You can see where they'll be going across the back there, and then to this post here. And then from this post here to this post here, there'll be a double gate. And as someone suggested, this would be a really, really nice place to put a fish tank under here. I don't think that's going to happen, but we could almost set up a small aquaponics system under here, or at least an aquaculture system. We would need some supplemental light if we were going to do plants. The jungle is still a jungle down the back, so I'm not even going to bother. I'm just throwing my hands up in the air until we move back in with a lot of that. Downstairs, this is what we've been up to. Kira and I have been back. This is our 3rd day in a row now, just doing this. Just a quick edit to thank a couple of friends, Mark and Alison. Thank you folks again for coming around and helping us fill the nail holes and knot holes last weekend so we could paint this week. And this is what Bianca and Kira were working on before. Sorry if it's a bit bright, folks. So at the moment we're only going to be painting the new boards that go on. We're not going to be painting the ones up the top there because we don't have the relevant safety scaffolding. Also, there is a concern with this paint because of the age of the house that more than likely there is at least 1 or 2 layers of lead paint in there. So it has to come off, and we're looking at contracting someone to do that. But yeah, this is looking pretty schmicko. It's probably a little bit bright, and that's all because of Kira. She's the sunshine of our life. Downstairs here, they've pretty much all done the same thing. They've plastered up and it's finished sanded, ready for us to paint. Obviously that's where we're working up there. Now the phone is focusing, is where we're working upstairs, and I'm standing pretty much well, I'm halfway down the stairs, and then we'll be coming down here into the bathroom and laundry. I'll just turn the light on, or I could just open a door and say hello to Kira again. Hello Kira. Hello. So yeah, the toilet's ready for us to do the undercoat on as well. A little bit of bog there to get off. So we're going to undercoat this, and the tile hopefully will be in Sunday. Vacuum up all the mess of course first. We might let him tile first I think, and then we might come in and paint. We'll wait and see. But yeah, once the tiles are in, they can put the toilet down. And yeah, we just need to paint off down here. It's not really a lot for the plumber to do other than put in the sink here and the waste. Yeah, and this will be our little storage room. This is where probably the root pouches will live until we end up with something out there, because Bianca really needs a sewing room and office back. Just quickly, I'll just put you up here on the batten rail. Whoops, sorry guys. Yeah, I need to make an apology to one of our Subscribe Star supporters. I'm very sorry, Ben. I got some paint on your shirt, mate. The black one's still all good though, still wear that one out. Speaking of Subscribe Star, thank you very much to everyone who does support us through Subscribe Star or the paid YouTube membership program. Thank you very much. We really do appreciate the support. In fact, tomorrow, which might be yesterday by the time I edit this and get it up, we're a little bit busy, we will have had our May Hangout. Basically what that is, I use a Zoom app. It's called the Zoom app, sorry. And basically everyone logs in and we can all chat with each other. It's not just me like a hangout standing out the front there and just chatting and lecturing everyone. Everyone can come together, talk about gardening or aquaponics and that sort of thing. So check that out if you're interested. There'll be a link there and at the end of the clip to Subscribestar, and you can just find the YouTube membership by clicking on that little button down below there. There's also those marvelous super contributors. You can find links to their websites and Facebook pages down in the description below. It'd be fantastic if you could go and follow the links and show them some love. I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, that's pretty much all it update wise for the renovations. There might be another one next weekend. It just depends on how much cosmetic work we get done upstairs. I really do need to thank you all for you know, sticking by us even though we're renovating and not doing much gardening at the moment or aquaponics. Because I've been busy this week, I haven't been over to Mum and Dad's again to work on their system, but fingers crossed I'll get to that this week before Mum and Dad get home from their little holiday and give them a bit of a surprise. You didn't hear that if you're watching, Mum. So there you go. I will leave it there though. Thank you very much again to everyone for coming along. I do hope your aquaponics and your gardens are booming unlike ours, and I'll catch you next clip. Cheers folks, have a top one.